Peace and blessings. So I was sitting here thinking about what I get into. A lot of people think this war is outside, or it's going to be with whatever's going to be bombed, shit like this. No, no, no. This war is just a distraction from you actually dealing with the war, the real war. The war is inside yourself. The war is, are you going to listen to your animalistic self, or are you going to listen to your higher self, or whatever, your higher self, lower self, all that good stuff. And yeah, that's the real one. So when they said it wouldn't be televised, it's not going to be televised because the war is going on inside of you. Are you going to continue to live this life, but continue to bring us down, or are you going to sit there and fight for the fight that's going to bring us up? Either way it goes, everything's going to happen. And I even try to break it down to people. So when they talk about this stuff, even the book, what they're telling you is that people don't want to read between lines. They don't want to pay attention to things. So in other words, the war, all this stuff is going to start within yourself before anything happens on the outside. There's going to be people who can't deal with themselves, people who can't admit to things, people who can't take accountability. It's going to start driving people crazy because right now we're going through an energy shift. And let me break down kind of how energy works in the sense. And I'm going to use slavery since we all know about slavery. So, and they say this all the time. I don't know why people don't do it. So, we know the police force was originally the slave catchers. Okay, so whenever it comes time for an energy change, when they talk about portals open, this is the stuff, what they're saying is right now we're going through a time where it's time for things to change. And it's either going to change for the better or for the worse. Either way it goes, somebody's going to profit off of it. That's what's going to happen. So basically it's like, okay, everybody who doesn't want to deal with the things within themselves, they're gonna go crazy, lose their mind, start fighting over shit, going back and forth, killing each other, killing themselves, because they can't deal with themselves on the inside. Which goes back to mine. If you can't deal with yourself, why should anybody else? Everybody want to be mad, but you're not listening to what I'm saying. But that's cool. I'm just thinking about it. So there you go. There's your apocalypse. There's your how everything's gonna happen and why and how people are gonna start dying because nobody wants to say I was part of this. I led the youth wrong, or I did this and knew what I was doing because they want money. So then you even take as far as our women. They couldn't get the men to separate for the women, so they had to separate the women from the men, which is why you have so many women who are masculine and so many men who are feminine. You get it? Is everything is in balance. The way this works, the universe works, is within balance. And that's how you do it. That's how you fuck shit up. So then you tell men, do this, instead of saying, hey men, stick together. If a woman tries this bullshit to go over here and do this, then you let men know so we know that this woman is trash. Or vice versa, however it goes. And then you wonder why it's the whole thing about men against women, blah. Nobody wants to admit to it. Because everybody played a part, everybody played a role. But that's the crazy part about it. Admitting that would know that everybody played a part, everybody played a role. So it's not just my fault, it's not just the person's fault, it's all our fault. And the only way that we can even make a change is all of us come together and do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like this whole, I hope we get it. It's actually a big video. I'm surprised. But yeah. So then we look at our kids and wonder why our kids think what they think. Okay, so let me break that down too. So let's take it back to the 80s, 70s, 80s. People had businesses and stuff, and whatever the situations. They brought the drugs in, and we think it's cool. We think it's okay. We brag about it. Okay, cool. So they brought these drugs in, and what they did was fucked up the black household or black household. Okay, so they fucked up the black household, and basically the people who was building got hooked on drugs, or then people who caught the next game was sell drugs. Those people got rich, stopped teaching. The people who had businesses and stuff, they got hooked on drugs. They stopped teaching. So then you have the 90s come in where we're glorifying all this other stuff, which is cool. We're just figuring out, just getting everybody getting money, all this good stuff. But at the same time, we're destroying our own communities. We're destroying our own properties in the process. Nobody noticed because everybody's making money. Once again, all about money, right? I'm just saying. All right, so then, yeah, sure.
I thought you were somebody else. Without my glasses, I can't see very far.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
So then, what was that? The drugs. Oh, the drugs took over. So then they stopped teaching. So because they stopped teaching, we stopped pushing drugs and this other stuff. So then we made the drug dealer the man that every woman should want to be with. Well, we didn't. Partially, we had something to do with that. More than all of the outside distraction stuff. So, like I said, even with the drugs, you couldn't separate the men from the women. So, you see where I'm going with this? So then, since they figured that the whole, that wasn't going to work, what they had to do was separate the women from the men, which became really easy when you have wars and all this other stuff and feminist things. Instead of listening to what we're supposed to listen to, we're just throwing stuff out there. You know what I mean? So instead of us doing those right things, we make money to top front. But the reason you get money is to get pussy, which is whatever. I told you, it's not about money. It's always about the opposite sex. They really hook that up to. And they used us to do it. And nobody wants to do it, but it happens. All right, so they did that. What was I at? Okay, now let's get back to the whole generational thing, where, like I said, they stopped teaching, people stopped learning, it became about drugs. Okay, cool. So now it became about shaking their ass and making money. Not completely knocked out what a responsible man was, what ambiguous was, what all this other stuff was. And nobody seemed to catch it, including myself. At the same time, of course, you catch all this stuff. So then, whenever it came down to trying to teach the next generation, the older generation would be like the 90s and the 80s, would get mad at the younger generation, the next generation up there. And they don't want to teach it. They want to charge them for all the information. But then, wonder why we have so many people who haven't caught on to it yet. Wonder why we have so many people who don't get it yet. Wonder why we have so many people who don't understand yet. Everybody wants to charge money, once again. Anyways, so what's funny about that is now we have the younger generation, or my generation, who isn't leading, but they're following the younger generation because my generation set up the younger generation to be that way. So now nobody has control over the younger generation. Do we know why that is? Because the generation before my generation got mad when they figured out information and nobody wanted to hear it. So then they start wanting to charge people for it, which is completely understandable. Everything's about money, right? So, where am I with this? Okay. So then my generation came up and followed. Kind of was setting the trend, kind of sort of this trend started coming in. This is around the time the energy starts changing. It's like things have to change, and every so often things are going to change. Now I'll break down a little more of energy. Like energy is everything. It's just a transformation of where it goes next. And because it already exists, we can't get rid of it. All we have to do is figure out how we're going to control it, or what we're going to make whatever the energy or whatever the situation is until the next thing, because it's time for it to change. This is what people are talking about. So then, the younger generation has nobody to follow. So like I said, wonder why the younger generation is so wild. They have nobody to follow. Follow for what? All y'all do is tell them to kill everything, fuck people. But yet, we forgot about the man who tried to live righteous. We said he was lame. We said that he wasn't worth anything. We made him the bottom of the barrel. You see what I'm saying? But in actuality, not knowing the whole time that man was stronger. But why was he stronger? He was stronger because he didn't fall into the games of what society told him to go into. In other words, he didn't go into this trying to destroy his own neighborhood. He wanted to learn. He wanted to see what he could fix to make it better. But as people, we all collectively came together, whether anybody wants to admit it or not. That's what we did as a collective. We came together and said, he's lame, he goes to work. A woman shouldn't want him. But what is the purpose of masculine, feminine energy, positive and negative. You see what I'm saying? So then we made that man not worth anything. And the only man worth anything is the man selling drugs, destroying his neighborhood, fucking up happy homes. And then we took away the girl who was supportive, the woman who was trying to help, the woman who genuinely loved her man, because we told her to go out there and be a thot and shake her ass because money is the only thing that matters, right? So then you sit there and wonder why we have all these women who are fucked up. But that goes with giving the women the power to make decisions on their own, telling women being independent, they don't need no man is the way to go. When in actuality, we need each other. We'll make that argument all day. But nobody will be honest and say the truth about it. Cool. I don't have to. I will. So then, a person like myself, this is how we get there. A person like myself steps in, sees all this, who's seen the problems. But you tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm nothing. You treat me like shit, and yet I still manage to. Men like us still manage to stay and fight this fight. And we call them lanes, we call them squares, we call them nothing. But yet they're the only ones who were strong enough to sit there and not fall into the shit of other shit. Even though, they did get tricked some kind of way. We all got tricked in some form of fashion. But the problem was we make the guy who was trying, made him not worth nothing because they killed off all the other dudes to make us scared and all this other shit. But in actuality, it's like, let us get it what? Y'all, but in actuality, we control the way things go. We control where the world's gonna go, the whole earth, you know what I mean? We're so busy trying to be like everybody else, and everybody's so busy trying to be being so busy steady trying to be like us, we don't realize that we have control over everything, that we really run shit. Nobody runs nothing but us. And I'll take this example. If somebody cuts out, like if they say cut light switch can never get cut off because that means you couldn't do it. So, and I use this example as well. So if the president came to you, or the man with most money in the world came to you and said, shoot him in the head and I'll give you $2 billion. Most people would take that off. But this is what people forget. It takes a person to pull that trigger. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, even though they could offer me $2 trillion to shoot somebody in the head, it's up to me to accept it. So if I don't accept it, you can't pay me to do anything. It's not worth it. It's not being real value to me personally. But it's not about money. Or maybe it is about money. What do I know? Oh, and to tell you some more about the energy thing. So it's also how energy works when it comes down to money. So remember it was bartering, well we can't say remember, but at one point in time it was bartering. Then it became stones and rocks. Then it became different kind of metals, gold and silver and platinum. All this is different energies being changed into something else. That's how it is. Because it's already here. It's existing. You can't get rid of it. We know energy can only be, we just move somewhere else. You can't get rid of energy. So because it's already here, we can't get rid of it. So we have gangs. Okay, gangs are here. Can't get rid of it. It's already the energy. It's already, the whole gang thing is an energy within itself. All we have to do is transform into what we want it to be, not what they tell us it is. It's literally that simple. It's a little harder, but we're trying to get people on the same path. But people get it one day. We may not be able to completely change everything, but we can control the way most stuff goes. It's just us to do it. But what do I know? I'm just a guy from Beaumont, Texas. That's it. But it's a very beautiful day.